Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome back to Anime Church. The only church where cosplay is not only recommended, but it's highly encouraged. Wow, I bent over at the wrong time to pick up some stuff off the freaking floor. Because that sounded really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
let me do that again.
Let me do intro and then be like, be right back.
No, it was right here. It's just a little popcorn. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah, fair.
Welcome to Anime Church, the only church where cosplay is not only encouraged, but highly recommended. Or the other way around. I don't remember how I do this anymore. Things are crazy. Things are crazy.
Are you okay?
We've got good news. Shut up. We've got good news and bad news to talk about, but before we get into it, let's do the introductions. Hi, I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology, who needs to close his door.
Hi, I'm Moonlight Sparks. Come on. Hi, I'm Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology. Praise Arceus.
And I am Fenrisarian, your Saint of Snackos.
Doing okay, bud? You sounded a little sick. The Snackos aren't staying down, are they? They're fighting back.
They are fighting back a lot.
I finally.
This is why you gotta be careful with your Snackos.
Yes, you gotta choose the right one.
All right, once again, for anybody who is new to Anime Church, we're kind of a nerdy, variety show. We talk about nerdy news. I guess a nerdy news show, but we kind of talk about what we want to talk about. And a lot of it happens to revolve around the anime gaming and sci-fi. Basically, whatever catches our attention, whatever tickles our fancy, as it were. And I know you could have said, if I say the word tickle, somebody has a naughty thought. It's how it be.
Look, it's either pickle or donut. Either way, it's getting tickled.
Either or, ladies and gentlemen, keep your dirty minds to yourself. You forgot to pray today. Praise Arceus.
Praise Arceus.
Praise Arceus. All right, we've got a lot of stuff to cover. It feels like things are kind of out of order a little bit with all the stuff that we've got here. We should be talking about our second story first, but we're not gonna.
What's our second story? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It feels like we should be leading with that.
Yeah?
Probably. But if we're going to go with the way it's posted, let me get the article pulled up. So, fans of Zom 100, they're giving us a Christmas present.
Woo!
The official website for the anime of Haro Aso and Kotaro Takata's Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead manga announced on Monday the broadcast schedule for episodes 10 through 12. The anime's remaining 3 episodes will air consecutively on December 25th, starting at 11:40 p.m. until 1:10 a.m. Japanese Standard Time. Or, for those of us here in America,
The 24th.
Yeah.
We're getting it on the 24th.
If
it's happening
we're
on
still getting it on the 25th.
They're dropping it on the 26th, and it's coming out here on the 25th.
Yes.
Okay.
They're dropping it from 11:40 p.m. on the 25th to 1:10 a.m. on the 26th, their time. So here in America, it would start around 10 a.m. on the 25th.
Okay, so they're just saying, hey, Santa's giving us zombies for Christmas.
Yes, basically.
I don't. Here's the thing. Have either of you watched Zom 100?
Yes.
About 4 episodes.
Okay. So here's the thing, guys. This is a fall anime that should have finished. The fact that we're getting the final 3 episodes for Christmas, not something I'm celebrating. If it'd been a special episode we'd get for Christmas. And honestly, it was right when it was getting to the best bits. It is the mother of all cliffhangers. What a fucking cock tease. This is just stupid. This should have been done. These last 3 episodes, and the only thing I can blame is the anime industry and how badly they work their animators. This is just.
Wasn't
I
it
think
also
this is
that
also a
studio's
new-
first anime?
Yeah, this is a new studio. That's what I was about to say. Yeah. So it's like, okay, maybe a little forgiveness, but I mean, come on, man. You're basically missing an entire season. Like you've skipped an entire season to get to this because the winter anime start in January. So you're literally not the last episodes of a fall series are going to be dropped basically at the tail end or I'm sorry, the summer season is going to drop at the tail end of the fall season.
Oh, I'm just happy that it's finishing.
I mean, yeah, but I'm going to sit here and not be the grateful person. It's like, guys, if you weren't ready to do something of this caliber, maybe you should have waited an extra season so you could have had all this shit finished. That's all I'm saying. If you weren't ready, take
it's
your
like
time.
the old Nintendo saying goes, a delayed game is eventually good. An unfinished game will forever be bad.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
It works for anime too.
Autoclick. Okay, thank
Or
you,
any
Mr.
show
Poppy.
even.
There's like heart. All right. Any other thoughts on this particular story before we jump into kind of the main course here?
I ain't got nothing else on it.
Okay.
Good.
I didn't know if y'all had any more thoughts or opinions.
No,
I think we kind of aired out our grievances here. Like,
Yeah, it was a quick one.
I'm happy with the irony of Santa's giving us zombies for Christmas, but other than that, I'm mad that it took this long to happen, and I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I should be fucking grateful that the super delayed last 3 episodes. These better be some fucking banger episodes. This better make my Christmas worth it.
Yeah.
Because the Christmas presents I can get myself probably gonna be better than this.
Yeah. Hell, the Christmas presents I'm getting for other people are definitely gonna be better than
I'm
this.
buying a hooker for Christmas. No, I'm kidding.
Bro, same.
Damn.
Blackjack and hooker.
And hookers!
There you go.
Yeah!
This is the best Christmas ever.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
How do you celebrate the Christmas spirit? Dip your dick in eggnog.
We're just looking for a Red
shit.
Rider.
We're going to hell, and everybody that's watching, you're all coming with us. Ha ha.
It'll be a
right.
fun ride.
Hey, we're gonna have a great time though. It'll
right.
be nice and warm. I'll bring some snacks. Arceus is gonna be there. I can guarantee you that.
All right.
I think I'll bring some marshmallows for s'mores.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will not be eating any s'mores because I don't like marshmallows.
Give me all the s'mores. I love s'mores.
It's not the taste, it's the consistency. I don't like the consistency of marshmallows.
Well, you're consistently trash.
I mean, I've seen the food that you shovel into your body, so you have
Shut
no
up.
ground to stand on. You're
Hold on,
slowly,
wait.
You're
What
slowly
specifically?
sinking into a tar pit, sir. The only
Hold
time
on,
I've
what
seen you,
specifically? What
The-
food specifically?
I'm just saying, man. The only times that you're eating well is when Edgar pays for it.
Fuck you. Hated my ass.
He's only saying that because it's true and he has no real rebuttal.
Fuck off.
I've literally seen you bring in food on Discord calls. And I'm like, a fellow trash eater, I see.
Yeah, it's cheap, okay?
Though, to be fair,
Money's a pain in the ass.
it is. And I just learned how expensive HelloFresh is. But
Yes.
but I'm keeping those menus from now on. I'm keeping
Yes.
those menus.
That is the best thing about HelloFresh. You keep those things, and they will last you a lifetime.
Yeah. I will keep the menus and never have to order that shit again.
If nothing else, take pictures of it and make like a special Google file for it.
Well, no, I can't do that. I like to actually have the menu sitting in front of me of how to prep.
No, that's fair.
everything. Yeah.
That's fair.
Anyhow, guys, moving on to our next story. Whew. So before we could talk about the tentative end of the strike, and the reason we say tentative is because the deal has not been finalized. It hasn't been voted on by the members of SAG-AFTRA. It has made it through the first 2 rounds of like agreements. Now it has to be voted on. So The strike is quote unquote over, but if the thing gets voted down, if the members of the union don't like it, we could be back on strike. That's how this goes. And it's going to take about a week or so for that to happen.
Quick thing. There are articles saying that there was an 86% approval vote for the deal.
They've already voted. It usually takes about a week for them to gather all of the votes.
Nope. I just pulled up an article that says SAG-AFTRA board approves strike-ending contract.
I don't need up to the minute updates right now. I'm just trying to put out the thing.
No, this was posted 2 days ago.
Oh no! 2 days ago, they didn't have the full group of people voting. Like they didn't have the. What you're probably hearing about is like the national committee, not the actual actors and members of the unions themselves. Okay, because it has to go through like the contract agreement has to go through one board of people, then they have to go through the national group, and then the individual actors all vote on it. And that usually takes about a week.
Okay.
I've been studying up on this shit because I didn't know either. I learned all this shit over the last 4 months. By the way, isn't that weird? It's been basically 4 months. The studios and the actors should have worked this shit out a while ago. It's mostly on the studios. Holy crap, your typing is loud.
Yeah, it is. Jesus.
Sorry, clicky keyboard go burr. Or actually, clicky keyboard go.
You became a JoJo character with your keyboard.
That might also do it. My gain is actually pretty fucking high.
Yeah. So, guys, really quickly to just kind of talk about what was going on. So, the AMPTP made their final deal, and it was a shit show. And they were forced not only by the actors and SAG-AFTRA, but basically huge pressure from the court of public opinion once word about the details went through. Now, they came back with another proposal, but we'll get into this one. I'm going to get into the first one. As SAG-AFTRA responds to studio offer, AI protections for high-earning members remain a sticking point. Literally, they would not get off the AI train about they wanted to give no compensation for use of dead actors' characters through the use of AI to their estate. That was the thing they wanted. Also, that whole thing about scanning a person for like 1 day's pay and then being able to use their model through AI in perpetuity and never pay them again. That was a big fucking thing. Here's what happened. Everybody gave that contract the finger, and they were forced to actually put in securities and back off of the AI stuff that they were. So we will go through the actual details of the contract, but I wanted to let you guys know what was going on. So we're still on a tentative agreement, but it's looking stronger and stronger, like it will go through every day. Mm-hmm. Now, this came from... Okay, so here's the thing. The SAG-AFTRA actual announcement, probably not the best thing. I probably should have checked on Deadline or Hollywood Reporter, because they would have actually had, like, the minutia of the contract ready. SAG-AFTRA just put out a statement saying, hey, guys, strike is temporarily on pause. So...
To be fair, I've been trying to find details of the deal, and I can't find shit.
Approved tentative agreement. Well, if you've been looking for on the SAG-AFTRA site, you wouldn't find it.
Oh, no, I've been looking all over the internet for the last couple days.
Deadline SAG-AFTRA thing. Basically, in the contract, they were forced to pay a certain amount of oh god, what's it called? Not royalties. The other thing. Jesus Christ. I got interrupted by another scam or spam thing. Your UPS package is in the warehouse. It cannot be delivered to your address because we don't have your address. I'm like, yeah, that's a scam. Anything that I order, they have my address. So
Obviously.
yeah, guys, if you get those, and I'm getting spammed with them constantly, but if you get those, it's a scam. Don't answer it. Don't respond back. Just delete the number.
Yep.
But yeah, SAG-AFTRA on strike related.
I think it's funny when I get Amazon related ones.
Yeah, right. So basically, residuals. That was one of the sticking points.
Okay.
Residuals, depending on how the show does and how important to the show the actor is, that will determine the amount of residuals they will get. It's not going to be the same as film and television with streaming, but they got something there. And let's see, on the that was something that the actors had to give on, was residuals, and the studios had to give on the AI thing. So right now, the AI stuff, the studios had to back off almost on 90% of it in order for the actors to be happy. And that's basically where we are. Everybody is going to get paid in royalties for their anytime that an AI of theirs is used. They're not saying that a digital replication is, they're not saying, no, you can't do this. It's like, okay, you want to do this? Every time I show up in the background of a show, I get paid. Same thing with dead actors. I don't think it is necessarily required that they contact the estate, but they have to pay the estate of that person. Now, I want to go ahead and say that the term estate sounds kind of like, oh, they're going to pay for like this rich, fancy no, the estate is what they call it for like their loved ones, their next of kin, family. Kin. It's just called estate in legal terms. It doesn't mean that like all these people are living in like mansions, because this happens this can happen for the lowest of the low actors. Notify me of this. I don't even know who these people are. Okay. Well, this is Fat Dog Studios. We do abridged content, so if you were checking out any of our stuff, YouTube might have notified you about that. Just saying. All right. So that's what happened. Now we're at the process where there's 3 rounds of voting that happen. You've got the top people, then you've got the national board that all have to go through the contract and approve it and be like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with this. And then they have the actual SAG-AFTRA members will all go through and vote on this. And then once it passes through the SAG-AFTRA members, once they completely vote on it and it is approved, the strike is officially over. So we're still on a tentative end of the strike. If they decide that this deal is no good, if the members of the union decide this is no good, we're back on strike, baby. But for now, the studios are in a rush to get stuff started. Apparently, Deadpool 3 will finish up its they've already had like half of it filmed, and while the strike was happening, post-production could still be done. It's not like everything stopped. So Deadpool 3 can start back up in January is what they're looking at. So, yeah. But this definitely did hurt. A lot of films that were supposed to come out next year got pushed back to or we were looking at coming up like relatively soon, got pushed back pretty far. Some are going back to 2025 instead of 2024. So this hurt. And you know what? I have no one to blame but the studios. This is the studio's fault. This is stuff that should have gotten fixed within 30 days. Hell, it should never have made it to a strike. It was obvious that nobody was going to agree with these ridiculous demands that the studios had, especially when it came to AI.
But money, obviously. We need money.
And that's all they said. That's all they wanted.
Dude, the amount of people that are not connected to Hollywood that rely on Hollywood for income that had to close down. There are prop shops, costuming, restaurants, all sorts of shit. All of that got shut down. People lost their jobs, their livelihood, all over this. California took $6 billion in damages from the studios, and just from the strikes alone. So glad it's over. Hopefully people can get to work soon. If you're ever out in LA and you go to a restaurant, odds are your waiter's probably an actor. Like 90% of the waiters are actors. So for everybody's like, oh, now they could get a real job. But it's like, no, they've had real jobs, and a lot of their real jobs got killed too because of this. So catering places can go back. The construction for sets, a lot of those crews. There's a lot of people who aren't the actors that got hurt by this, and I have no one to blame but the studios, because their greediness literally caused this to happen. And I mean, I'm not going to be on the side of the studios at all, considering how they treated their writers. They were like, oh, well, we'll wait this out until they start getting evicted and then they'll agree. And it's like, that motherfucking producer. So yeah, if the creed is greed, I'm not on your side. That's all I got to say on this.
Yep.
Okay. Holy crap, guys. A Zelda movie was announced. And ironically, it is going to be live action. I don't know why I said ironically. I don't think there's
That's
any
not
irony.
ironic.
Yeah, that's not. There's
There's
no
none.
irony. Everybody was thinking it was going to be like CG, like the Mario Brothers. I was kind of hoping that it would be.
Honestly, I
Live
think
action?
The Legend of Zelda could work like really well with live action.
I think
Mario
it works better
with
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Mario works better with animation because like all the powers and stuff, all the power ups.
The
It's
world-
far easier to do that.
the
And
world
yeah,
of
just the world
Mario-
in general. It's so wacky.
The world of Mario is so silly that it works better for like animation, whereas
Oh, yeah.
Zelda is a lot more serious type of fantasy. And people are already saying, "Oh my God, this could be the next Lord of the Rings." No, it's not.
No.
It is not. Like, as much story has been invested into this over like decades, it's still not Tolkien. Okay.
No.
Though
nowhere
I
near.
will say
But
the
it's also
funniest,
not
the
trying
funniest
to be.
thing, the funniest thing that I saw was an improv group, and one of the things that they had to do was, okay, Sauron, but he's Donald Trump, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. It's like,
I see you over there.
no,
Where
we'll
you
see it,
been?
we'll see it, we'll talk about it later, but it's so funny. Okay, so apparently Nintendo has pitched this to Sony, which okay, why Sony? But okay.
Because Nintendo and Sony have a good backstory and good working relationship.
Gotcha.
Actually, yeah, the PlayStation wouldn't
remember-
exist without Nintendo.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean,
Because
all right.
initially it was the Nintendo PlayStation.
Wes Ball is the director. Is the director that they're looking at to helm this. He was the person behind the Maze Runner trilogy, and I know there's another movie that's coming out soon that he's supposed to be working on, or that he's already worked on. But
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I think.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's it. And I don't care about the Planet of the Apes franchise. I never saw any of the Planet of the Apes movies from like last decade. Never. So Planet of the Apes was not my cup of tea. I watched the original and I was like, it's all right. I thought the Planet of the Apes worked better in Spaceballs. Oh shit, there goes the planet. I'm like, come
there
on, man.
goes the damn planet.
Yeah. But so he's the one that's set to be helming this. Now Nintendo and Avi Arad's Arad Productions Incorporated are behind the film that will be co-financed by the gaming giant and Sony. So Nintendo is throwing money into this as well. So Sony can't just be like, this is how we want to make it, because Nintendo will be like, no, you're not messing this up. Here's my question. Okay. Well, no, I should read the rest of this. Nintendo representative, director, and fellow Shigeru Miyamoto, who is set to produce the movie, posted Tuesday to, I'm not calling it that, it's Twitter, that he and Arad have been working on a live-action version for many years now. Miyamoto continued, we have now officially started the development of the film, with Nintendo itself heavily involved in the production. It will take time until its completion, but I hope you look forward to seeing it. Here's my thing. Do we want an original Zelda story? Because that is a possibility. Think about it. Every game that's come out has been its own individual story or like a sequel to one other that has come out. But I think putting together an original Zelda story that follows all the same conventions as Zelda, as every other Zelda game, as every other Legend of Zelda game, has done before it. So, like, I think if you separate this from... Because the pressure of doing a Twilight Princess or a Breath of the Wild or, God forbid, Ocarina of Time, an adaptation, you're never going to win. You're just not going to win. So it's
and
better.
There's just too much content you need to condense for that.
It's better to just have. It's better to just have a Zelda movie that is its own story that can fit somewhere in the timeline. That could just
Or the multiverse of
the
Zelda series.
that just fits somewhere. It's like then nerds can argue about which branch of the timeline it exists in. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's better if they just tell their own original, honestly. That's my opinion. But here's the other one. If they were going to adapt a game from the Zelda series, from the Zelda franchise, which game would you like to see them adapt?
See, the unfortunate thing is I would love for it to be Twilight Princess.
That's a really
because there
good
was
one.
just so much good stuff that happened in that one. The whole thing around Zant was amazing up until they said, no, fuck this guy, it's Ganon again. And we're just like...
Ganon is the guy behind everything. And I'm like, oh no, that tracks. That tracks, because it's all...
I mean, that tracks, but at the same time, like, Zant was just such a good villain.
I don't know about that. I found him kind of loony.
I mean, yeah, that's the point. They had to keep something silly. It's still Legend of Zelda.
Well,
but it was fun.
Here's
The way that motherfucker just hopped around.
Here's the thing, guys. If I don't see a scene of Link in a boat fishing, I'm done. Just fishing in general. Link has to... All right, certain things I want from any movie, live action or otherwise, that would have Zelda. Okay, that would happen within the Zelda universe. Number one, I want Link to talk.
More
People
than
are
just
like,
yeah.
when people are like, Link doesn't talk, fuck you. There's a Legend of Zelda cartoon, Link motherfucking talks. And he better goddamn say, yes.
Me,
And
princess.
he better say that. Next, very important, Link needs to fish. At some point in time, Link needs to be fishing. Okay? This is a must. Everybody does it. We all know we've done this fishing mini games in multiple Zeldas. That needs to happen. Okay. Number 3. I need some music that is familiar from the video games.
Yes.
Well, they're at least gonna have probably Zelda's Lullaby and, if nothing else,
The Fairy Fountain?
The Kokiri Forest.
No,
or the Fairy Fountain.
No, because the Kokiri Forest, the forest theme changes depending on what game you're playing. Because it's not always the Kokiri Forest. Dude, honestly, Kokiri Forest, the first did not appear until Ocarina of Time. It was just the Lost Woods. And the Lost Woods has been in every iteration. And it's always got a different thing. It's always got a different...
Kokiri Forest was what I remembered.
Oh, okay, Kokiri Forest is where... Yeah. The Lost Woods has different themes depending on what game you play.
Huh.
Check out, go from, because you got to realize that the Lost Woods and Ocarina of Time is just basically Saria's song. But
Yeah.
you move over to Link to the Past, it's a completely different song.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't actually played Link to the Past. I need to.
Play it on an emulator, dude. It's really fun. I love Link to the Past.
Nintendo thing. I can just
Super Nintendo?
No, I don't have. I've got the Nintendo's thingy for the Switch.
Yeah. Well, Link to the Past is on SNES,
Yeah,
not regular NES. So
I know.
But yeah, play it on that. It's really good. Play it on that. It's really good. All right. Next up, which game of the franchise? Fenris.
The Adventures of Link.
Ooh.
Go back old school, man. Actually expand on the story, give more like detail to it that
Well,
should probably have been added to be
wait,
in the
is the
beginning.
Adventures of Link the second in the franchise?
Yes.
Yes.
1987.
Then you'd have to do the original Zelda if you were gonna do that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because like
Not necessarily.
they're all like they're still all the same game.
if
You're
they
just running
did
around
it-
Hyrule trying
No,
to save the
because
princess,
here-
trying to beat Ganon.
No, not necessarily.
did it right,
Okay, you definitely
could
haven't
have-
played the second one.
They could sum up the first game in flashbacks throughout
The
the
Adventures of Link. The Adventures of Link is literally a direct sequel to the original Legend of Zelda. So yeah, you'd kind of sort of have to do it that way. However, I know the one a lot of people are going to be clamoring for is going to be Ocarina of Time. I'm a no on Ocarina. There's just too much content there.
Way
too
much, because you've got
Unless-
all the dungeons, everything that
unless
happened
you
in the
did-
dungeons. People are gonna want jokes
Unless-
about the water temple.
No,
Like,
here's the thing. The only way you could do Ocarina of Time is if you did it as a trilogy. That's the only way you could do Ocarina
Or-
of Time justice. The first
or
part
a
is
series.
the first part is Kid Link. Like Child Link, his whole thing to get the Master Sword, and like when he wakes up, he's suddenly adult and like, what the? He's an adult, steps out, everything has been destroyed. That's a good book ending for movie one, and then the movie two is a lot of the stuff that's going on with. You get your explanation about what's happening, and then you start doing the quest. Now, it could be two movies instead of a trilogy. I think it probably worked better as two movies instead of the trilogy, depending on how you do it. But I mean, there's a lot of content in just the Child Link timeline before everything goes to hell that you could make an entire movie out of. And then the second half could be literally going through back and forth between future and adult and child timelines.
again, it would be so much better as a series, that one, because there's just too much. You could spend an entire hour-long episode on each individual temple. If you wanted to break it up to two, you could even do that. Have build up to going into the temple and then going through the temple.
Not necessarily. There's a lot that can be trimmed down from game to movie that is unneeded within the actual temple itself, because you're literally following the same formula. Run around until you find the map. Run around until you find the compass. Run around until you find the big boss key. Literally, you don't have to show much of the dungeons itself and like the running around stuff. You remember that because you were the one running around getting lost and having to do all this other stuff.
Each temple has its own story. In Saria's, in the Forest Temple, you're having to find Saria and figure out what happened to the forest, and then beat Phantom Ganon. In the Fire Temple, you're having to save the Gorons. In the Water Temple, you're having to help the Zora and...
Yes, but the temple itself isn't the important part of that. You can keep all the story without having to go through a shit ton of temple stuff.
Yeah,
now
again, you
obviously,
could still take an hour on that.
On all the temples would be 1 hour, but not each individual one. There's a lot of stuff in there that could be condensed, but I don't necessarily know if that could all, like, you could kind of like condense that down. I think it doesn't have to be as dense as it is in the video game. The video game is way dense and super rich in story.
But that's also going to mean people are going to want it that way.
Yeah. That's why I say you shouldn't do Ocarina.
Spend the time on it, though.
Mine is Breath of the Wild. Because there's not a lot of story in Breath of the Wild, which means there's a lot more that they can add to it. Like ideas for story that they had that they never really got a chance to get to. There's more potential to build on Breath of the Wild because the majority of Breath of the Wild is just open. Do whatever you want kind of stuff. There wasn't nearly... Out of all of the Zelda franchise, Breath of the Wild has probably the weakest story in the fact that it has the least amount of story. It's not that it was a bad story. It just had the least amount of story stuff because the majority of the game was just open world.
Hey, okay, here's the basis. Go have fun.
Yeah, kind of. And
But
it was
I would
up to
argue
you.
That's
And it was
that's
up
a
to
severe
you.
detractor for trying to make it a movie or anything. You could have a movie that would be a prequel to it, though.
No, you don't need a prequel because here's the thing. You can
That-
literally cover all of Breath of the Wild in about 30 minutes and skip right to Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, but that would make it a little more difficult to make it into a movie. I'm saying have the movie be a build up, like expand on the actual cutscenes that we had from Breath of the Wild.
See this conversation right here, ladies and gentlemen? This is why it needs to be its own standalone because no matter which game they do, it's a failure from the start. It needs to be its own standalone.
There are so many issues that comes up with every single game you talk about. Even if you try talking about the 2D games, you're still just sitting there like, okay, how do you make a complete narrative out of that? There's barely any dialogue in most of them. And then
No. You clearly have not played any of the old school shit. There's a shit ton of dialogue and a shit ton of story in some of the old school Zelda stuff. Now, if you're talking about the original Zelda, there's not really a lot in that one. But clearly, since you haven't played Link to the Past, you don't know. Link to the Past is even more story rich and dialogue heavy than Ocarina of Time.
Link to the Past Onward is where I stopped at. When I say the old shit, I do mean Legends of Link, the original Legend of Zelda, and the Adventures of Link. And those...
Can I change my answer from Adventures of Link to the original Hyrule Warriors? Give it like one cohesive
storyline.
Hyrule Warriors? No!
Okay.
Give it one cohesive storyline instead of a bunch of branching different missions.
Yeah.
Or just do the story from... No, fuck
we just have like also
Hyrule
everyone.
Warriors. No, Age of Calamity.
Age
of Calamity because it's a separate it's a separate story. It takes place in an alternate universe from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it had its own cohesive story, whereas the original Hyrule Warriors, there wasn't a story. It was Dynasty Warriors meets Legend of Zelda.
Yes, I know. That's why I never want to see that as a movie.
Look, the only good thing that would come out of that, though, is like just having the gang's all here.
Here's the thing. You have heroes and villains from all over the Zelda franchise. How are you going to fucking explain that to a complete noob?
I don't think it matters. Why do they bring all of the Power Rangers into one episode of like every fucking season? Why does it matter?
Exactly.
Yeah, but there's a difference. That's television. It's had time to build up, and you can go back and watch and get your stuff way. Most people who don't play video games and are just like, Zelda, I'll check that out. They're not going to go and check out the entire catalog of fucking Zelda.
They very well could, for all we know.
That's like asking somebody after they've watched the Netflix version to go watch the entirety of One Piece. They're not going to do it.
It would be a good marketing ploy for them to actually sell more of the original games.
Yeah, no, I get it, but Nintendo would actually have to do a decent job of putting out the original games, which they don't.
They market Nintendo online like Moon has in order to
what they need
get people to pay for it to play the originals.
I'm sorry, Nintendo, you need to do a remake of the original Legend of Zelda with today's standard of gaming. I want to see that one.
Although, to be fair, that's kind of just Breath of the Wild.
No, it's not. It absolutely
nowhere
is
near.
Not. Nowhere near. No, it is not. It absolutely is not.
Oh, I need to stop shaking my head. Oh, that's...
It is not, because there was no... First off, there was no Temple of Time. Yeah. There was no Temple of Time. Also, there were no proper there was no giant graveyard in the in Breath of the Wild.
That's not what I mean.
Link still
had
part of his memories in Breath of the Wild.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't mean the exact contents of Breath of the Wild. I mean they both have you start in a very open area and you're just kind of having to do stuff. Yes, Breath of the Wild has more of a tutorial area than the original Legend of Zelda, but it's still Like, the reason Breath of the Wild is the way it is because they originally started making a 2D Zelda and said, okay, now let's make this story 3D. That is literally how they came up with Breath of the Wild.
Here's the thing. There was barely any story in the original Zelda, and that's where the comparison is. And also, it was very open world. Those are the only two similarities between those two games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than your base Zelda gameplay that everything was based off of. But those are the two main similarities. There wasn't much of anything. Dude, most people didn't even know how to go around collecting the fucking Triforce pieces. Half of the people that played the original Zelda back in the day never even made it to Ganon.
I don't...
They didn't even know... Here's the other thing. The dungeons are completely all out of order.
Yeah?
Like, Jesus
Well,
Christ.
technically, you can tackle them in whatever order you want.
The only story stuff, the only inference of story stuff that you got was literally on the pamphlet cover that you got from the game. Like, you had to read, like, the little pamphlet thing that came with it in order to understand what the fuck was going on in Hyrule.
Okay,
And the biggest difference between the original Legend of Zelda and Breath of the Wild...
Breath of the Wild honestly has more story.
Well, not just that, but Breath of the Wild doesn't have the old man.
Yes, he does. He's the king of lions.
That's
He's
not...
the guy who gives you the paraglider.
That's not what I'm talking about.
He's not the king of lions. That's literally the king of Hyrule. And the old man in the cave is not the king of Hyrule. There is no king of Hyrule in the original Zelda.
Nope.
It's still an old man. Like, that's the thing I'm
That's
getting at.
not
There
the
is, like,
same
a
thing.
whole lot of similarities.
There
Yes,
is not-
the story
this
and
is not the
names
same
and shit
thing.
like that will be different, but I'm still just saying, like, if they just made an updated Breath of the Wild, or not Breath of the Wild, an updated The Legend of Zelda, the OG, that just had, like, modern graphics and stuff, like, it would just be Breath of the Wild.
These are not the same.
Story with different names.
These are not the same. I got it. I'm sorry, man. It's not the fucking same. Have you played the original?
Yes, actually, I haven't.
Then I don't understand.
But I have played it.
You haven't beat it.
No.
You haven't played all the... How far did you get in the original Legend of Zelda?
I got to one dungeon.
Okay,
It was annoying as hell.
I kept thinking my ass
just
handed
put
to
it...
my Ganon and I
So,
quit.
so
Believe me.
let's go ahead and stop right there. You haven't played enough of the game to do an accurate comparison of the two.
No, I have. Look,
No,
I'm not saying
no.
one would be harder than the other. I'm not saying there aren't differences. I'm saying that if it's just made into like a 3D game, blah blah blah, it's just
You know what?
Breath of the Wild.
It's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. You just gotta learn to embrace it.
I just don't understand where you guys are like.
Because if you played a lot more of the original Zelda and had to run all over the effing map, like you literally have to
Believe
go
me,
online.
I ran all
tutorials.
over the map because I was lost.
You didn't run all over the map because there's some places that you can't get into without specific items.
Again, I was lost.
Yeah, but again,
I ran everywhere I could. Put it that way.
Yes, but did you try to steal from the old man?
You could steal from him?
see.
Huh.
But you successfully steal from him, but the next time you see him, he kills you.
Yeah.
Nice. But still, I mean, like, you're just asking for that to be made 3D. I'm still saying, like, it's just gonna
It's
be...
not the same. What's the topic for the day? Right now, we're arguing about Zelda.
Yeah.
See,
like true nerds.
once again, this is why the movie needs to be its own thing.
Oh, for sure.
No.
All right.
Next question about the movie.
Oh no.
What rating should it have?
13. PG-13.
PG at most. No.
I'm leaning more with Moon on PG-13 because it's gonna have some blood and gore in it.
Redeads.
It's gonna have to.
Redead, sorry.
Fucking terrifying. Ocarina of Time? That shit haunted my dreams.
because
I
you-
was like 10 at the time, but yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. But no, I still think PG is fine, and they don't necessarily have to do redeads.
Oh, it would be so much fun though.
Yeah, but that would require them to be doing Ocarina of Time, and we've already agreed that they shouldn't.
Redeads and Gibdos are like on so many different things. They reuse enemy ideas for all the games.
Dude, have you seen The Mummy's rating? It's not that strong.
The what?
The Mummy. The
Which
movie
one?
The Mummy.
Yeah.
The original, the OG Brendan Fraser one.
Okay, the good one.
The good one. Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. The one that
He's right.
should have started a dark universe.
Shut
Also,
up!
like-
God damn.
He's right, but the mummy's not that scary. I will say, but also
Yeah, but
it
you're
just
talking
kinda
about
depends on, I guess, how they're
Gyptos
gonna-
and stuff like that, and I'm like, bro, you look at the Mummy stuff, and it's kind of the same. Also, dude,
well, the mummy wasn't
Legend
trying
of
to be
also-
extremely scary.
Also, you've proved my point. Zelda is rated E for everyone, so they're not gonna go full on PG-13.
You're right.
Yeah,
Okay, touche.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
you got me there.
Nintendo's already, I mean, by gamer ratings, Nintendo's already figured out what they were going to do. All right, we got to move on.
Sorry, I
have
was
to.
enjoying an argument.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, Fenris, this next one's yours.
From Star Wars to Starfield, voice actors hit out at Microsoft's AI decision. If you want to start a voice acting career, don't bother. Microsoft has introduced its latest AI efforts, which are capable of generating character dialogue, and it's got voice actors fearing for the future of the industry. On November 6th, Microsoft announced it had partnered with InWorld AI to develop an AI toolset for its studios that will empower creators in a dialogue, story, and quest design. The new toolset will help developers generate things like scripts, dialogue trees, quests, character dialogue, and more, threatening roles in the industry like writers and voice actors. Understandably, some voice actors have already voiced how problematic this could be. Elias Toafexis, I know I mispronounced that last name, who is mainly known for their role as Adam Jensen in Deus Ex series and Sam Coe in Starfield, has tweeted their frustration over Microsoft's announcement saying, "I've said it for years now, if you want to start a voice acting career, don't bother." The actor continues, "All these jobs of nameless background NPCs that gave us all our start in the industry, they're all going away. I'm already bitter." Shelby Young, who recently played Hami in Horizon Call of the Mountain, various characters in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, also shared their concerns with Microsoft's plans. "This is scary. Recording NPCs is how many voice actors cut their teeth in this industry. This will make it even harder for new talent to break into video games, which, to be honest, can already be pretty difficult to begin with. I'm worried for game devs and writers as well. This news has got to be hugely disappointing and alarming for video game developers, writers, and voice actors alike. It's especially disheartening considering how much praise an NPC conversation in Spider-Man 2 recently received. Shortly after the Insomniac sequel was released, the internet collectively agreed that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 has one of the best pieces of NPC dialogue ever, a conversation that may not have existed without the use of real actors and writers.
All right, some context. If you haven't played Spider-Man 2, Insomniac Spider-Man 2, there is a lot of NPC dialogue that is just fucking fantastic. But the one that they're citing in particular, and this is one I've encountered, is literally you can stand at, you can like hear two nannies talking to each other. And one is absolutely brand new, and she is panicking and talking to the more experienced nanny about stuff. There are things like conversations about baby powder and how you shouldn't be using it when changing diapers anymore. There is literally one of them admits that before she became a nanny, because she lied her way to get the job, she'd never even held a baby before. Like, it's a pretty interesting and rich conversation by two background characters. These are NPCs. This is like ridiculous how good the dialogue is for just random people you can encounter in New York. It fleshes out the world and makes it seem more real and more lived in. It is got to be one of the best things. And this thing that they're talking about from Microsoft is basically the same thing. All the same issues being brought up again about how the AI deal with SAG-AFTRA. Literally, by taking someone's likeness like that and reusing it, it makes it harder for new talent to break into the industry.
Unfortunately, I know that firsthand. I've been
I
having issues
don't-
with that for the last 2 years.
I don't agree with Elias because he's just overly pessimistic a lot of the time. So at first I was going 50-50, and then I finished reading the article and I was like, nope, no, I'm completely against this. Now, keep in mind, I'm a writer, director, actor for voiceover as well. So, what I say has bias. I'm coming at this from the bias of someone who works in the industry as a voice actor and also does writing as well. Keep in mind, this is the time that we're at right now. This moment right now, this is the worst AI is going to be. It's only going to get better. As AI continues to learn and it's used and grows, it's going to get harder and harder to distinguish between human and AI. Right now, we're at the worst it's going to be right now. So it's scary how accurate some of this stuff can be, especially when it comes to AI being used to make a dead person say things. I mean, there is a moral issue with having Kevin Conroy's Batman talk about different topics. And at first I was kind of on the fence because the message that they were giving was really good, but that still doesn't excuse the fact that you've literally stolen a dead person's voice. Because they can make it say whatever they want. I don't have a lot of stuff that I do, but there's enough audio out there on the internet. Somebody can literally take my voice, use an AI, and make me say things that I completely am against. There's no protections for this. And because there are no protections, Microsoft can do these things. So this is not a fault. This isn't completely the fault of Microsoft. I'm laying half of the blame on Congress. They should have had AI bills out and ready to go. The Europe, despite all their problems and the issues I have with several of the European countries, they had bills and laws ready to go before all this shit came down. So there were protections set in place for AI because AI is the next big thing. Anyway, that's my bit on this. I'll let you guys go ahead.
Not much to add, but you know what? I'm looking forward to when the Geths start, attacking.
You won't be alive for that to happen. It's going to take centuries for us to get to for us to even find the Turians.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've already given my 2 cents on it as well.
Okay, so since we've gone from Geth to Turians, might as well talk about there's a new trailer for Mass Effect. The new Mass Effect. We had N7 Day, and I forgot that it was N7 Day, and I didn't wear my N7 shirt. I feel bad. But yeah, now we're getting into the trailer stuff, guys. All right, so once again, all of our stories and stuff, the links or trailers that we're talking about are going to be linked down in the description, so make sure to go and check that out. Now, there's not a lot here on this particular trailer. It's just another giant tease. There's just a person walking down a hallway. If I'm being honest, they kind of have the same vibe as like Warlock from Destiny.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
heavily they look like that.
That's what I was thinking the whole time.
I can't be the only one looking at that. Also, I'm not even going to touch what's going on with Bungie right now. I'm going to let them implode. I haven't touched Destiny in a while, even though I know one really, really good and exciting thing about Destiny that's happening right now. There is a quest that you could go on where you will scour around different parts of Savathun's areas, and you will find an Ahamkara egg. And also once you do that, a cutscene plays that shows that the 15th wish that everybody's been searching for years has been found. It was on Savathun's wing, and it was our guardian that found it and figured it out. So the next season is going to be Season of the Wish. We're getting wish dragons back. Ahamkara are returning, and we will have the 15th wish for the for that particular raid. The Last Wish raid will be getting its 15th wish. Finally, we will figure it out. That having been said, back to Mass Effect. Is BioWare even doing it at this point?
I'm not sure. Let me.
Or is this just an EA project?
IGN,
I mean, most of the
the
big
teaser
people
doesn't have any
description
logos on it, so
I'm not looking for logos. It's just down in the description. I don't know if this is solely an EA thing or if this is a BioWare thing.
it's looking like it might just be an EA thing.
Anyway, it shows the character walking down a darkened hallway. They have an N7 logo on them, and then they walk out. And I'm like, okay. And then we have
yes,
like
it very
the
much looks like a warlock.
bits of the Mass Effect theme, and then they show the Mass Effect logo. And that's basically it. There's no BioWare anything. There's no EA anything. It's just, we don't know what the heck is going on, guys. We really don't.
They teased us so much, they literally gave us Mass Effect, and that's it.
Yeah, they just gave us Mass Effect, and that was all.
And I guess excitement? I don't know.
I mean, I haven't really gotten... I haven't really looked around at the community to hear their response, but, you know, they had to drop something for N7 Day, and that's basically that. Yeah.
Out of, let's see, 17 million subscribers, they have 4,000 likes.
Wow.
So that might say something.
Subscribers or views?
17 million subscribers. I don't know where the view count is. Hold on.
On the video?
Yeah. Where the fuck is the view count? Hold on.
Anyhow.
Oh, 200,000 views. Almost 300,000.
Okay. So not nearly as many as they probably should have.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Upcoming Avatar show. Well, okay. Hold on, Arc Knight. You're jumping ahead in the show right now.
Yeah. We ain't there yet.
We ain't there yet. All right. But I am
Little bit of patience.
I am tentatively excited for Mass Effect.
I'm just gonna have to wait till I hear some more about it. I want to hear what the story's gonna be.
Cautiously optimistic right now is where I'm at.
It looks good. That teaser looks good. I'll give it that.
It looks nice, but there's no there. However, the next topic we're talking about was something I shared out all over the place, and it was a resounding yes! Project Firehouse. Yeah, you've already seen it, haven't you?
You watched it with Edgar.
Oh, well, that's on you.
Fuck off.
You've got good download speed, right? Thought you said upload was the issue, not download.
They're both not great. Download is 10.
I don't know what to tell you, dude.
I know. I'll figure out a way to watch it at some point. It's gotta be on
Alright,
something.
Apparently, it may not. Oh no, Sony. I don't know what Sony's thing is that they have for streaming. You can look it up on Amazon.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Afterlife is.
See, I don't like giving my money back to the people who gave it to me in the first place, so I'll figure it out. I promise.
Yeah, well, you can't torrent it with your download speed, so you might as well just go with the Amazon Prime route.
Or it could be on YouTube. We'll figure something out.
I'm actually going to go duck out for a while.
You good?
The throne is calling? Yeah.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Talk to you guys later.
All right. So,
Poor guy.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That is the official title of the next one. And we got a full teaser trailer, like a 2-minute long teaser trailer that not only looks very interesting, but they weren't hiding anything in this teaser. Literally out the gate, they show the 3 OG Ghostbusters in there that are interacting. It's a continuation from Afterlife. So if you haven't watched Afterlife, you need to watch that. And I highly encourage it because Afterlife is really good. My parents haven't seen Ghostbusters Afterlife either, so that's one of the things we're doing for Thanksgiving. We're going to watch Ghostbusters 1 and then Afterlife, and then I'm going to show them the trailer. But we're going to do it on my big-ass wall. Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great. I've got a projector. I might as well get some... Yes. I've got a projector. Might as well get some use out of it, man. There is a lot to this trailer. I highly encourage you to check it out yourself, because me just going through it would take way too much time. So, yeah.
So I love a lot of old music. I forget it exists, but then like trailers and shit use it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this song slaps.
Oh yeah, Bananarama's "Cruel Summer."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just hear the do do do
From the
do
80s.
do, and I'm like, I gotta add this.
There were some people that, because they heard Jersey, thought that that seemed to be thinking that the beach is in Jersey. I don't know for sure if it is or not, but that kind of looked like Coney Island to me, because this is a New York story.
Yeah.
But I mean, New York City's right across from Jersey, so like the two were very close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there seemed to be some confusion there, but you know, yeah.
Also, another point about the song, that is a terrible dad joke. Must be a cool summer. It starts off saying it's 100 degrees, and then everything freezes.
No, it's a cruel summer. Cruel.
Cool.
Cruel summer, not cool summer. Cruel.
Well, that explains why I had difficulty finding the song.
Yeah. It's a cruel summer. Yeah. Leaving me here on my own. All right. Anyway, this next one is just a really freaking. Depending on how you want to look at it, it could be either tragic or freaking fantastic. Either way,
little bit of both.
Daniel Radcliffe is a fucking legend at this point for this. Daniel Radcliffe, aka Harry Potter, the boy who lived, is going to do. And the reason I'm specifically mentioning Harry Potter is because this has a tie-in to Harry Potter. Is going to do a documentary about his stunt double who was left paralyzed after an accident in the Deathly while filming the Deathly Hallows. Holy shit. So Daniel Radcliffe is going to executive produce this documentary about his former stunt double who was left paralyzed following an accident on the Harry Potter set. Sky and HBO documentary films are behind David Holmes' The Boy Who Lived, the coming-of-age story of a prodigious teenage gymnast who formed an inexorable bond with Harry Potter bond with Harry Potter star Radcliffe. Holmes was working on Deathly Hallows Part 1 when an explosion that was part of a planned stunt sent him plummeting to the ground, leaving him paralyzed from the chest down with a debilitating spinal injury that turned his life upside down. Guys, I want to tell you right now, stunt doubles are like stunt people. They are the bread and butter of Hollywood. They are what keeps stuff going on. Like, they do the really dangerous shit. Keep in mind, there are like safety things involved a lot of the time, but that's not a guarantee. There is some incredible... Jackie Chan should be dead decades ago from some of the shit that he's lived through.
Oh, yeah.
If you have not
seen...
seen...
His nose is so flat because how many times he's broken it.
There is I don't know, a commercial or something. Basically, there's like this video that I saw of his daughter watching all of the stunts and failed stunts that he was doing. And like Jackie comes over and talks to her and looks at it, and she's in tears. She's like, I don't understand what they're saying, but I get the gist of it. It's like, you could have died. You could have seriously died. And then Jackie starts crying because he's like, yeah, this is some scary shit. People shouldn't do this. But yeah, stunt people, holy crap. It is insane the risks that they take for a film. Even with stuff that's like, hey, this shouldn't be a problem, something can happen. Case in point,
Easily.
somebody got shot and killed on the set with a gun that was supposed to have blanks in it.
Yep.
I'm not going to go too much into that because I don't want to hear about the politics of it all and blah, 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 whether you like the actor or hate the actor. I don't care.
Doesn't matter
I'm just
who pulled
saying-
the trigger. It matters who checked the damn gun.
Anywho, accidents happen on sets all the time and more frequently than you'd think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Daniel Radcliffe is definitely the man for stepping up and supporting his stunt double like that. And I'm not saying that like, oh my God, yeah, we should all as good of it as it is that Daniel is getting involved in this, the focus should definitely be on his stunt double.
Mm-hmm.
So good on him for. Apparently, these guys have been friends for a long while.
Makes sense.
But yeah, this is something that definitely should not have. This is a story that needs to be told, and this is something that honestly shouldn't have happened to this person. But you know, things like that happen. Unfortunately, our next story was supposed to be another Fenris story. But since Fenris isn't here, I'm making Moon do this because I'm not going to read every story in here.
All right.
Yeah.
John Wick, Chad Stileski says, a more cinematic, non-continental TV show is in the works, as is an anime project.
Now,
John
we'll
Wick.
cover the anime project specifically on our follow-up story, but yeah.
John Wick fans should note while John Wick 5 is on hold until filmmaker Chad Stileski and Keanu Reeves can crack a new story, more on that soon, that doesn't mean John Wick the franchise is staying idle. As the mythology grows and world building evolves, there's still potential to do so much more. Stileski recently joined Mike D'Angelo for an episode of the Discourse podcast. That full interview soon. And during this discussion, after talking about the possibilities of John Wick 5, Stileski opened up to even more Wickverse content in the works. Yes, there was a recent prequel show, The Continental, but Stileski wasn't very involved in that series. Instead, he revealed he's getting much more hands-on with another totally separate John Wick TV series spin-off that he is developing that is not only trying to bridge cinema and TV and include more action, but expands the characters and world building of the John Wick universe. In the free-flowing conversation, our Discourse host said the audience hasn't met the high table yet, and that would be something fun to see. Stileski countered with the idea that you must be careful with revealing too much, as it could fall into cliches he and his team dislike. Austin Powers mocked it so well, he said of the idea, an actual table with the high stereotypes tropes of evil from different ethnicities from all over the world. We're never going to show the whole high table, we'll show the representatives, but we'll always keep some of that mystery.
I like that. That's actually good. Yeah.
Through that conversation, Stileski revealed there is much more John Wickverse content in the works. And now that we've got Lionsgate, this is so weird writing. Lionsgate is having us develop the John Wick TV show, so we thought we could explore the high table in that a little bit, he revealed. Okay, it's a quote, no wonder.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right,
That
so
whole thing was a quote, yeah.
there's way too much of this article going on right now, so
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna jump to the next part, which is he has franchise plans, John Wick franchise plans for a Japanese anime. In a preview for an upcoming episode of its podcast, The Discourse, the Playlist website reported on Thursday that director Chad Stileski revealed a Japanese anime project in the John Wick franchise. According to the Playlist, the podcast referenced the franchise's recent prequel television series, The Continental, when Stileski said that there was a second television series as well as an anime. The Playlist quotes Stileski, so we're really looking forward to that second television series. we're really excited about it because we're doing that, and a Japanese anime because I love Japanese anime so much. So to create all the cool stories that anime could achieve better than we could, and the TV show to expand on our world, we'll still get our fix. You know what I mean? And we'll still have all the fun. Here's the thing. There's a lot more stuff that they could do in an anime that you just can't get away with in live action. Like, as cool as John Wick was, can you imagine an anime John Wick? Like, just imagine what they could get away with doing if they just did an anime version of John Wick 1. But, like, you know, you start off the whole thing, puppy gets killed, Wick goes up. Dude, there's so much more badass action that they can do. Because you got to realize that this whole Matrix bullet time thing, that happened because of anime. Because the Wachowskis were such huge fans of anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff that is like, that you see get parodied or done this way or that way, it happened because anime. Anime does some great shit. And yeah. All right. Any final thoughts? This is supposed to be an original anime series based in the John Wick universe. It doesn't necessarily mean that John Wick is going to be involved. Any final thoughts from you or the audience before we jump into our next story?
Not really. I've actually not seen any of John Wick,
so... Oh boy. That's another one we got to get you into, because John Wick, very good.
Okay.
All right. The Yu Yu Hakusho trailer, man, so many Netflix stuff is going on right now.
Oh,
Yu Yu Hakusho trailer dropped. It is all Japanese. It is made by a Japanese crew, and it is proof that One Piece was a one-off phenomena. Because just what little I'm seeing from this, it looks like a shit show.
Why?
There's just a lot that, I mean, they're covering way too much to be able to do. Is this a series or is this a movie?
Pretty sure it's gonna be a series.
Okay.
With how much shit is in this, it should be a series.
They're already showing Dark Tournament shit. And I'm like, bro, that's way too later in way too late in the story. You should not be worrying about the Dark Tournament. It doesn't. The outfits and everything and the way they look doesn't look right. Their Kuwabara is just.
Oh no, I didn't even see Kuwabara. So.
Yeah. Oh no, you saw him. You just didn't recognize it was Kuwabara. That's the problem.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it's that bad. Now, the one thing I'll forgive them on is the Koenma thing. Because Koenma's a baby when you first meet him, but you find out later he has a teenage form, blah, blah, blah. They just go straight into the teenage form. Makes sense because you can't get a baby to act that well. You can't get a baby to actually act like Koenma.
They could have, like, CG'd something, but
unless
I can understand
unless you have a stand-in baby that you just kind of get, like... And you do the AI thing that they were talking about where you just scan the baby and then you do like AI stuff for everything, you know.
I enjoy that he still has the pacifier though.
Yes. Well, he does.
That.
He has the pacifier. There's a reason that he carries the pacifier on him if you haven't gotten to Chapter Black. I don't want to spoil things for people who may not have gotten that far, but the pacifier, the pacifier has... And the pacifier is actually important. There's a reason for it. But yes, even in teenage form, he has the pacifier.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
hilarious. It's
100%. They're literally just using his teenage form from the show. This does not look good. I'm already like the One Piece one kind of. I was like, all right, there's some there. I see what you're doing. On this, it feels like a return to form for live-action anime adaptations. It feels like, here's the garbage I remember. There's only been two series that I think have done well with live-action adaptations, and that's Rurouni Kenshin and One Piece. And it does not... I know that Togashi can't be involved with this with all of his health problems.
Okay, I found where Kuwabar is. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not. This looks
He's
like an
supposed to
absolute
have
shit
the
show.
orange pompadour.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Eh,
this is so. Also, guys, please, before you start commenting about stuff, why don't you look at like our list of stuff that we're going to be talking about? The Avatar thing is something we're going to talk about in a bit.
Yes.
So don't just jump into it. We've got like a list of things in order for this. We will be talking about it, just not right now. We've got to shit on this
reread
terrible.
that comment from like 10, 20 minutes ago?
No, it's a different person this time.
No, it's the same comment.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. Are you okay, Richie?
No, I just didn't read the name of whoever it was. I thought it was another comment about it. I was like,
No,
Jesus fucking
it's the
Christ.
same comment.
All right. I thought I was looking to see if we were going to get any comments about this. I love how people don't comment about the stories that we're talking about. They comment about like things we're going to talk about. It's like,
Happens
man,
quite often.
man.
I will say the spirit gun that they got.
That looks
pretty
good.
cool.
That looks good. I don't know how I feel about Genkai, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, Genkai looks all right. My thing is,
Toguro does not look like Toguro.
which one's Toguro? Is that the big one?
Yeah.
I mean, I recognized him immediately. I didn't know his name,
His
but I
name is
recognized him.
They're both
immediately.
named Toguro. There's the elder and the younger Toguro brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I recognized them immediately, mostly just because the way young older one was like the smaller one.
yeah,
he was on him, and I
yeah.
was just like, oh,
Yeah. Literally our next thing is talking about the Avatar trailer, so yeah.
you know what? Hold on.
So we go from a shit trailer to a decent trailer. And I'm like I was actually really, really impressed by the Avatar The Last Airbender trailer, but we'll get to that in a second.
Hold on. I do want to say one more thing about
Go
Yu
for
Yu
it. Go
Hakusho.
for it. We're still on the Yu train.
Okay. I don't think they're doing Dark Tournament.
They were showing the armor from one of the guys that's in the Dark Tournament. That's actually toward the end of the Dark Tournament. Bui.
But just the way I'm seeing this, the way this looks, I think what it is if it's either a movie or a series, what they might be doing is just, you know how it was that mob boss guy who was like, oh, this girl, her tears turn into fucking pearls. That was a whole subplot of the Dark Tournament, right?
Yes. No, it was a prequel to the Dark Tournament or a precursor to it, but yeah.
Yeah,
In a
I
way.
don't think they're doing Dark Tournament. I think they're just going to focus on that.
Which is fine, but Bui doesn't show up in that.
They may have changed a few things. We're just going to have to see how it goes, I guess.
Again,
I kind of have hopes for this because it
I
does
don't.
still look good. I said kind of.
It doesn't look good to me. I think it looks like a shit show, but that's we're allowed to have differing opinions.
Why is his sword blue?
Once again, yes. I do not like Hiei. Like Hiei does not look like Hiei.
No, he doesn't.
Kurama and Yusuke are the only two characters that kind of work. Everything else, like, yeah, it's just, guys, this just looks like a shit show. There better be like, if this is your official teaser, this is how you're announcing this to the world and to fans of Yu Yu Hakusho, of the actual anime, not a good first impression. I am not sold. I am at the point where I'm like, One Piece was a fluke. Now we return to shit anime live action adaptations. We return to your regularly scheduled garbage. Which is funny because this is supposed to be the same like showrunner group that did One Piece, but everybody seems to forget that same showrunner group was also responsible for Cowboy Bebop's Netflix live action adaptation.
How could they do so good on One Piece, but so terrible on Cowboy Bebop?
Well, to be fair, the look of Cowboy Bebop was dead on with the anime.
Oh, fair.
It looked so good, and I think that's where all the budget went to.
Probably.
And did not go enough to, hey, maybe we shouldn't depart so much from the original anime.
Also, shout out to this one comment. My favorite anime series ever. I'm either about to be pleased or finally understand how the Cowboy Bebop fans felt.
I think it's gonna be the latter, personally, but I am pessimistic in the most hopeful way possible. There we are. I'm hopefully pessimistic. Like, I think it's gonna be a shit show. I'm keeping my expectations really, really low. That way, it can surprise me. If I go in expecting a shit show and it delivers better than that, then I'll be happy. But I'm not really excited for this.
I mean, like, a lot of the visual changes.
When is this coming out again? Is it in December?
Yeah, December 14th.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. A lot of the visual changes, though, can at least be forgiven to some extent.
So a month and 2 days.
Especially if they're, like, trying to update it. Like, do people still do pompadours?
Yes, there are. Yes, there is still a Japanese trend with Yankees and punks of pompadours.
Interesting.
Yeah,
but
they can do them right. I mean, to be fair, Kuwabara's is overly exaggerated, but still, it'd be a better pompadour than that.
Yeah. And I can forgive the blue sword, I guess.
I can't. No, here's the problem, guys. The details about the main characters matter. If you can't even get the main characters right, what's the rest of the show going to look like? This does not impress me. This does not impress me at all. One Piece, the attention to detail with everything that was on there was impeccable. There's not enough attention to detail happening here. Not even with the main characters. I can understand with some of the random characters, like in the background, but the main four, not enough. No, I'm against this entirely. But let's move on from bad news to good news, in my opinion. The Avatar: The Last Airbender official teaser for their Netflix adaptation. Now, keep in mind, guys, this was done without the creators being involved because the creators stepped away. And they're going and doing their own Avatar thing right now.
But it looks so good.
It does. It looks so fucking good. Dude, the person that looked the most on point for their character was the person I had the most, if they don't nail this character, I'm fucking done. They got the perfect person to play Uncle Iroh. He looks exactly like Uncle Iroh. I don't care what anybody else says. Uncle Iroh is the most important person in all of the Avatar.
Absolutely.
Whether it's The Last Airbender or whether it's Korra, Iroh is pivotal. So pivotal. Now, it seems like we're only getting season 1 stuff, which is fine. That works.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, guys, if you're like, where's Toph? That's season 2. That's book 2.
Yep.
Toph doesn't show up until book 2. But I like it. I like that I like the use of the music. That's very much on point with the original. I loved seeing the Kyoshi Warriors and how much time they got. The only person that I think looks a little weird is Sokka, but then again, Sokka's weird. So
he's always been weird. He's kind of the outlier in a lot of situations. So
Appa and Momo looked really good.
Oh, they do.
They look so good. So good.
Yeah. Shyamalan, eat your heart out.
Shamamalama Ding Dong.
Yeah.
This looks so good.
And like
100%.
the set design
Ozai looks
so
great.
much of this is amazing.
Oh yeah, everything. See, the kind of attention to detail that we were talking about was lacking in Yu Yu Hakusho. All of it is present here. Like, a trailer is supposed to be like an opening statement. It's like, look at this. This is why you want to watch this. Yu Yu Hakusho was sprinkled with member berries, and that's all that it had. It was like, hey, remember this part? Remember that part? Remember that part? Remember how these characters... Remember how the anime made you feel? Well, the live action doesn't have any of that. That's what it felt like. This is like, hey, You remember how much you loved Avatar The Last Airbender? We love it just as much. Here's proof. It's like, bro, Yu Yu Hakusho looked like something I would see in a cosplay event. This looks like if the character stepped into live action. And I know I'm going to be comparing the two, but I have to. I couldn't fully talk about the Yu Yu Hakusho thing without referencing the Avatar The Last Airbender thing, because the similarities of taking from animation to live action, they have to. What Yu Yu Hakusho does wrong, Avatar's trailer gets right in all of the best ways. There's so much love here. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a thing. Please check. Okay, no, it's working. It's just for a second there, it looked like there's a loading issue with YouTube, and I'm like, no. Okay. It should be resolved shortly because the stream is fine. Is anybody else having an issue with the stream? Is it loading?
I'm seeing it just fine. It looks okay.
Okay, so it's just on my end that it was loading. Gotcha. All right. So yeah, there will be comparisons, but it's okay. But again, it's like, hey, all of the details matter. Whereas in the Yu Yu Hakusho, it felt like it didn't. You know, just I ask that you watch the two trailers back to back and make a comparison. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Like, if you watch the Yu Yu Hakusho thing and you're like, oh man, that looks really good, and then you go watch Avatar The Last Airbender, you're going to forget much about the Yu Yu Hakusho trailer because it just does not compare. We are not the same. It's just how it is, man. It's just how it is.
Omashu just looks amazing.
Right? Omashu looks like Omashu.
I love it.
All right.
But isn't Omashu? No, it's book one.
Oh, now time to get to our short stuff. If you need a little bit of happiness, if you need a pick me up, Netflix has officially released bloopers from the One Piece live action. So some outtakes, some bloopers, really good. Got quite a good amount of Buggy the Clown in there. So for you Buggy the Clown enthusiasts from the live action, which I am one of, you get anytime we get more Buggy, I'm very happy. You know?
Oh yeah. Pirates, as they are called.
Pirates. Now, Netflix has also released their final trailer for the Scott Pilgrim Takes Off series that will be showing up in 5 days. 5 days until Scott Pilgrim jumps. So we've got that. Another thing that I thought was insane, a Terminator anime series has been officially announced. So yeah, hey, you know what? Maybe if they jump over to anime, it won't suck like the last several films have. With the exception, here's my thing. I actually like Terminator Genesis. My only issue with it was that they spoiled a major plot point in the fucking trailer. Somebody who cut the trailer spoiled a major plot point for Terminator Genesis. And if they hadn't done that, I think Terminator Genesis would have done really well. Or at least better than the others had. But boo on whoever cut that trailer. But this is also another Netflix series. Netflix teased the anime series based on the Terminator franchise with Production IG and Skydance Entertainment on Saturday. Now, Skydance Entertainment is the group that holds the rights to Terminator. But guys, Production IG, this is good. These are the same people that give us such beautiful works as Haikyuu. And what was it? What was the most recent one they did? It was a soccer anime. I can't remember which one it was that Production IG did.
Blue Lock?
I don't know if that was Production IG or if it was the other one. But yeah. I mean, they were both good soccer anime. But if it was Blue Lock, hell yeah. But Production IG is phenomenal in their animation, guys. So I have hope for this Terminator series. Also, last but not least, 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Cowboy Bebop is officially 25 years old. The 25th anniversary exhibition, or it will be 25 years old. No, it's 25 now.
I'm a year older than Cowboy Bebop.
On April 3rd, 1998, the legendary anime series Cowboy Bebop first aired on the Japanese TV station TV Tokyo. Now, celebrating its 25th anniversary, Bandai Namco is holding a 25th anniversary exhibition at the Seibu Shibuya Movidakan 6th floor special event space. While Cowboy Bebop first aired in Japan in 98, it would take some time before airing abroad. First in 99 in Italy, then making its way to the US in 2001. Combining elements of neo-noir, science fiction, and westerns, along with jazz, baby. The series quickly gained popularity wherever it was aired. Now, a quarter of a century since it first aired, Bandai Namco, in conjunction with Sunrise Inc., is celebrating the Cowboy Bebop 25th anniversary exhibition. It's a nice little gallery through the series. Some wonderful displays and areas for fans, new and old, to take some photos. Here's some of the highlights, and please check out the please check out the article. Not joking, because we're not going to show any of the video or images from it, but damn, does it look good. They should invite the dubcast for each language. Oh my god, there's literally a Bebop area where you could walk into like the most used area of the Bebop for all the scenes where they're on the couches and the chairs, and it's even got Ein's dog bowl. That's great. Oh my god, they have a backdrop for Big Shot, so you can take photos in front of the Big Shot bounty board for the TV show.
They have a giant scale model of I forgot what it was called, the red ship.
Spike's
Swordfish
ship. 2.
Yeah.
The Swordfish 2.
That.
Yeah. It's pretty big. Oh my god, Zippo lighters. That's great.
Nice.
And then they're showing off all the swag, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't have the money for this, but I really want it. Oh my god, they have literally a model of Spike versus Vincent. Like if it were a figurine, like all together. Oh my god, Cowboy Bebop candies that look like Marlboro cigarettes. That's great.
Nice.
Like a Marlboro cigarette package, because that makes, yeah. T-shirts, of course. Dude, there's so much good shit here. And yeah, and little plushies.
Are those keychain
tags?
Records?
Yeah.
Huh.
There is no doubt fans of Cowboy Bebop will have a great time at the 25th anniversary exhibition. From sitting on the sofas of the Bebop, the scale model of the Swordfish 2, and animation cells we unfortunately couldn't take pictures of, it's well worth visiting. The exhibit will run from Friday, October 27th to Sunday, November 19th. Tickets are available through the E Plus service for 1,600 yen for advance tickets, 1,800 for same-day tickets. So basically $16, $18, roughly around that price. Not bad. Not bad, guys. That's some really good stuff. Let us know in the comments if you could go to this. Would you go to this? And how big of a fan of Cowboy Bebop are you?
I so totally
curious
would,
to know.
and I would like.
Yeah.
I would be very irresponsible with my money.
I mean, looking at all that swag and the places you can take pictures from, it's yeah, 100%.
It looks so cool.
Man, that's so good. All right, well, I'm glad that we could end on a happy note, because we got into arguments about like some other stuff. Yeah, Zelda will always be a contentious argument point.
Oh, forever, always and forever.
But
everyone's gonna have opinions on that.
But then I didn't want to end on the Yu Yu Hakusho stuff either. I was like, we gotta have some happy stuff. So I'm always gonna be scouring around last minute on Anime News Network for last minute
happy thoughts,
happy ways to end a show. I always want to end a show happy rather than angry or sad. It's always a good time. So, that having been said, that's the show, guys. It went on for a little over an hour and a half, but here we are. If you got any last minute thoughts, please let us know down in the comments or in the chat. Make sure to give this a thumbs up if you like the content that we're putting out. And of course, if you like us a lot and you like the content that we're making elsewhere on the channel, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If it's your first time here, thank you so much. We'll really get into it. We're kind of like I said, we're a nerdy news kind of channel thing. Well, not a channel, nerdy news show on the channel. Sorry.
Yeah.
But since we're on Sundays, we are Anime Church. The only church where cosplay is not only recommended, or no,
It's not only
encouraged, but highly recommended. There we go.
You came up with it. You keep forgetting it.
I don't say it enough to like think about it. You know, it's not a catchphrase like "ladies and gentlemen of the congregation." You know,
Or praise Arceus.
yeah. It's not really a catchphrase, and I'm probably gonna have somebody else take over for it. It's like, welcome to Anime Church, and it's like, Moon, you say the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that having been said, though, guys, thank you so much for coming by. I'm Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I am Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology. Praise Arceus.
And we will see you next time on Anime Church. But if you want to catch more from us, we will be streaming over on the Fat Dog Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/fat_dog_studios. We will be reading volume freaking...
Oh, we're on the next volume, right?
Yeah, we're on the next volume. Volume 14 of the Slime Light novels.
That'll be happening tomorrow.
That'll be happening tomorrow night. Yeah. 8 p.m. Central Time. So, if you want to catch us in all of our silly shenanigans and our voiceover...
Chicanery, and all the above.
Chicanery, Sean Connery. And all of our Sean Connery. Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for that if you stop by. Until then, this has been Anime Church. We're out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have fun storming a castle.
Think it'll work?
And take a